Hey everyone, welcome back and thanks for watching yesterday's video where I set you 2 challenges to try and work out what Andrew was doing wrong with his foiling jibes. If you didn't see yesterday's video, you can check it out under the eye up in the corner and there'll be a link in the description below. So, thanks a lot for your comments and suggestions for what those 2 mistakes may be. I think we pretty much got them all covered in a basic sense, and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about them now. So Charlie pretty much got the first one straight away, which was all about keeping the kite higher. So let's have a quick look at one of the clips of Andrew from yesterday and see what he's doing wrong, and then I'll go into a little bit more detail. Okay, so in this one, he goes around nicely. The kite stays low pretty much through the whole turn, and when he comes out, the kite is very low, which gives him nothing to balance against, and he falls off. So if you watch it again, I think you can see that he starts the kite low, brings it across the middle of the window, and then it ends up very low and at the front of the window, which doesn't really give him any power or stability. So what's he doing? He's starting with the kite quite low and he's driving it, turning it and driving it through the center of the window really. And then it's coming out right at the front of the window. It doesn't have a lot of control, it doesn't have a lot of power at that point. So he's got nothing really to balance himself against and he kind of falls off. So what we're really looking for him to do is to bring the kite up to the top of the window and then drop it down the front in the new direction. And what this allows to happen is you've got a nice lift through the first part of the turn, and then the board will be pointing directly downwind as the kite's directly above, and then you can drop it with quite a lot of speed if you need to. And that dropping of the kite on the new side of the window means that it's dropping with speed, and therefore you should be able to keep flying it if you need to and positioning it in the right place. And at that point then, it doesn't really matter if it's high or low or where it is, but you'll have a kite that's actually flying and is in a position where it's actually going to control you through it. It's also worth recapping here the general technique for any type of jibe on it, a kite board or a kite foil board. We come into the turn, we start flying the kite, then we follow with the board. So we're just trying to keep tension in the lines throughout. And that's really the aim of everything we do within kite surfing, kite boarding and kite foiling. We want to keep tension in the lines. So by the kite going first and then us following it immediately afterwards means we can keep that tension throughout the turn. That keeps the kite responsive and it keeps the kite flying with speed. Now we were obviously with this one, he's doing it with bringing the kite over the top. But you could very easily do a down loop. That's something which is a necessity at some point when you're kite foiling. You're going to start looping the kite. It is a skill that you have to learn. But quite often, if you haven't done a lot of down loops in jibes, then you might find it easier to start with the over-the-top version. And then at some point, learn the down loop either off the board or on a twin tip or a surfboard to get some practice up first. But generally, the technique is the same. It's start looping the kite, follow it with the board. And we cover all this actually in the progression First Gybes video. So if you want to know a lot more about the different types of kite movement, you'll be able to see it there. Okay, so this leads us on to the second point, which Will got pretty quickly, which was that Andrew was hardening up too much as he came out of the turn with the board, and he needed to flatten the board off a lot more. And a lot of this ties in with what he's doing with the kite. When the kite's flying more, it's higher through the middle of the turn. He's got a lot more control when he comes out. Now, a lot of people think that when they come out of a carve, that they want to be pointing sort of back across the wind or trying to get back upwind again. And this is something that kind of hangs over from what we do on a twin tip or surfboard, because when we're riding those kind of boards, we are continually trying to get back upwind. We're trying to hold our ground. On a foil, it doesn't matter so much. We can bear off downwind and we know we can get back upwind. It's never really a problem. Now with the hillside to toe side carve, actually what we can gain a lot by bearing off downwind when we come out of the carve. It allows us to stand far more upright over the board, and it allows us to have better control of the kite, because quite often we can keep both hands on the bar, which can help with that side of things as well. It allows us to have a nice posture, bent legs, but very sort of nice, upright, stacked body standing over the board. I'm just going to show you really quickly on a bit of paper that kind of angles of the wind to our board position, and that might help you a little bit as well. Okay, so the wind is coming across the page like so. And Andrew was coming around his jibe like this, and then coming out on his toe side like so. And this is wrong. And what he should have done is he finished off the jibe, he should have come out broad like that. Which is what he did when he did the good version. So there you go, that's our 2 points. One's about the kite, keeping it nice and high and bringing it over the top relatively slowly so that we're in control the whole way and we've got lots of nice lift. And the second point is coming out of the turn, allowing ourselves to just go downwind a bit more, allow us to keep the board flat, allow us to stand more upright, and so that we can just stay in control and fly the kite a little bit better. I've got big plans for the next year. There's going to be more of the traditional progression videos that you know and love already. Plus, we're going to have a load more short videos coming out in the late spring, which are going to be a lot more sort of inspirational and motivational videos, and that will complement our in-depth videos that we make already. And anyone who wants to really kickstart their foiling, we have our coaching camps, Progression Live coaching camps, which are coming up in 2019. We ran 3 this year. Next year, we're going to have 8 all around the world. And it's a great way of mastering things like the jibes and tacks, which loads of people are struggling with. And we can really help you to progress super quick over the course of a week. Yeah, so thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. Please let us know in the comments what you think, what bits you did like, what bits you don't. If there's any particular tricks or techniques that you'd like me to focus on in some of these more informal short videos that I'm creating at the moment online. Make sure you like our YouTube channel, and I look forward to chatting with you next time.